Alright, Shalom. Kayahara Kakodash. This is Brother Naquam from YNS Naquam 144. I just want to go into this prophecy here. Going into this martial law that we're running into very quickly in Great Britain. This is live, okay? Britain could face an Italy-style lockdown as the pressure mounts on Japan to postpone Olympics. Okay, the main thing is Britain could face the same style lockdown as Italy is facing right now, right this minute. Okay, let's go into this. So, the world is battling an outbreak of new coronavirus called COVID-19, which started in the city of Wuhan, China, and has been spreading around the globe, killing thousands. The World Health Organization, or WHO, as they call it, declared a global pandemic on March 11th. Okay, pictured here, Times Square stands mostly empty as much of the city is void of cars and pedestrians over fears of spreading the coronavirus on March the 22nd. That's practically what? 10, 11 days after it was declared. People already, made New York City sparse. Yeah, and normally it's congested. Okay, that's the works of the Heavenly Father, and Most High bringing the plagues on this earth. Okay, so we're in the works right now. In the pictures, okay, coronavirus outbreak across the world photos. The UK, okay, which we're here now. The UK is facing tougher restrictions on people's movement after many flouted coronavirus social distancing rules at the weekend by flocking to parks and beaches. Okay, and many of these people here, they're heathen. Okay, many of these people are the heathen that like to congregate all together in a fucking park and all that shit. If you go to somewhere called Greenwich, okay, which is like the southeast of London, you got hella Edomites there, where we made establishments in our age of rule, but they've taken over it. But the main thing is they like to gather all together, where Jake would more likely chill at his house or go somewhere where not everyone is. These even like to sit on top of each other and have fucking picnics and all that shit, eating each other, you know what I'm saying? Eating around each other. You know what I'm saying? They have no sense of natural decorum. So, yeah. So, let's get into this. There's social distancing rules at the weekend by flocking to parks and beaches, okay? Boris Johnson warned Britain could face an Italy-style lockdown if warnings were not heeded within the next 24 hours. So they basically want to bring this lockdown anyway, but they need a situation in order to bring it into that type of lockdown. So here is the solution, and here is the order out of the chaos. Okay, order of chaos. It comes as schools were preparing for a challenging situation amid concerns more pupils than expected could turn up despite them being officially closed last week. Meanwhile, the Tokyo Olympics appeared certain to be postponed until next year due to the coronavirus, as Canada and Australia said that they were looking to go ahead to the 2021 Games. That will make it 2021, but anyway. Okay, so here, many British people venerate the National Health Service, which is basically the hospital service that we have over here in Great Britain, and the free care it provides. That's why you have most of these heathens over here right now, because it provides free care. Okay, so they bum rush the system, rape it, and bend it, and it's basically on breaking edge right now. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, okay, this yellow-haired raccoon that is supposed to be the head of this country, warned on Sunday that NHS could be overwhelmed by the coronavirus in just 2 weeks. Okay? It's already fucking overwhelmed, man. Because you got these heathens everywhere. You got Ishmael and fucking Elam and whatnot. They breed like fucking cockroaches. They're already raping the system. Okay? As of Sunday, 281 people with COVID-19 had died in the United Kingdom, so they say. The government said there are 5,683 confirmed cases, with London hardest hit. London will be hardest hit, period, because it's the most dense, okay? But I doubt the cases which they push are that, what's the word? Authentic, because when I looked last time, it was basically 2 in each fucking borough. So you're basically throwing numbers in the air. Okay? But who's to say anyway? A critical NHS, the volunteer group, was set up on Thursday by a husband and wife, Niall Barrett and Janik Demille, who were responding to an appeal from a senior nurse at St George's to drop off a box of biscuits or something the staff can have a snack on. Okay? Anyway, the main thing here is the lockdown that they're bringing. Okay? Okay, coronavirus. UK lockdown could come very soon as emergency laws are rushed in. Emergency laws, not emergency services. Note that, emergency laws. Decreeing unrighteous decrees. Okay? This looks like a fucking dummy. Because the legs are too thin. Anyway. And they don't have to block out. Britain could be locked down to force people into self-isolation very soon. As the Prime Minister starts racing new laws to tackle coronavirus through the Commons in a day. So they're throwing out laws like fucking hotcakes now, signing laws and acts. MPs are returned to the Commons after the weekend to debate the government's coronavirus bill in its late state in all its stages, before it goes to the House of Lords and becomes law by the end of the week, which is fast. The Commons debate follows a stark warning from the Prime Minister that the UK is heading towards a lockdown after appeals to the public to stay indoors were largely ignored during a sunny Mother's Day. Well, fuck Mother's Day, okay? But at the same time, they did this because they know that people on Mother's Day so drunk off of that philosophy and worshipping that crap, that Babylonian custom, that they're going to do whatever it takes to still worship it and keep it a tradition. Okay? So they're acting on that. So, you know, he lines them up and knocks them down. At his latest Downing Street news conference, Mr. Johnson said, Boris Johnson said further measures would be considered in the next 24 hours to prevent the spread of coronavirus if people fail to stay 2 meters apart. How the fuck can you stay 2 meters apart if the road, you know what I'm saying, is only so wide? Literally, you'd have one person on this side of the road. That's like fucking stupid. He admitted being outdoors was crucial for health, physical and mental well-being. And notice how it's just pure Edomites. Pure them. They don't know how to keep distance even if they wanted to. They're like being in clusters and everything. But warn people, do not think that fresh air in itself might actually provide some immunity. Fresh air can't provide immunity. Okay, the Most High ultimately provides immunity, and what you ingest in your gut, okay, that provides immunity. The herbs and whatnot. Okay, which you got brothers that do all the herbs on a deep level. Okay, that can heal bones and whatnot. Health Secretary Matt Hancock told Sky News, Kay Burley at breakfast on Monday, we will enforce and bring in further strong measures if we need to, but I'd much rather people follow the rules themselves. it'll be much more straightforward. If we need to go further in terms of people's interactions, then we will. He added those decisions will be made very soon. Okay, so this shit can be done overnight. Okay. Fucking advertisements, man. So you can turn this up a little.
Sort of thing that anybody would want to do, but of course it's the sort of thing we might have to do in order to protect life. Now, last week we said that people shouldn't go out and we shouldn't have any unnecessary social interactions. We're now enforcing that, and the police and trading standards are responsible for enforcing those rules. And we've also said that if you do go out, you mustn't get closer than 2 meters from someone who isn't in your household. And it's a really simple rule. It's incredibly important because to protect life and to protect the NHS, we need to stop the spread of this virus, and the virus spreads by people coming into close contact with each other.
Which is fucking stupid, man. Because you can't come out your house without being 2 meters of fucking away from someone. You got people living on top of each other. That's not fucking 2 meters. Fucking hell. What the fuck is this shit? So it's basically set up already, so that they have to pass these laws. Period. Okay. Cool. There we go. The coronavirus bill, which runs to more than 320 pages, contains police powers to detain suspected carriers for quarantine and screening. So if you're suspected, they can just quarantine and screen you straight. Okay, restrictions on travel. Streamlining NHS procedures, including allowing death certificates by funeral directors. Okay, so if you're a funeral director now, you're making the big bucks, mate, I tell ya. Closing ports and airports if there was a shortage of border force staff. Okay, the bill proposes that police, public health and immigration officers will be able to detain people suspected of having COVID-19 and exact fines of up to £1,000, £1,000 or £1,000 for refusing to submit a test. So if you refused to have a test done, they're going to fine your ass. Okay? And that's off suspicion. So you could basically get a fine off nothing. Okay, other powers in the bill include registering retired doctors or medical students. Okay, so you're going to be, these older doctors that was working and retired, probably might be 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 10 years ago, are going to have to be forced back into the office. School closures, video links in courts, banning public events, school closures, and new rules for supermarkets on food supplies. Okay. This is the map where it shows where the coronavirus is supposed to be again. And it just looks like numbers just being thrown around, man, because before most of these numbers are all similar. Like they literally had 2 in each brother. So you could tell, you know, I wasn't buying this shit, man. But it's out there anyway, and the scare is definitely out there. The bill states, we assume the vast majority of people comply with relevant public health service. The policy aim of these provisions is to ensure that proportionate measures can be enforced if and when necessary. So you can detain you wherever at a whim. Okay. . The proposals will provide public health officers, constables, and in some circumstances, immigration officers with the means to enforce sensible public health restrictions, including returning people to places that they have been required to stay. So they'll just, escort you back to your home and that. Find out where you live and all that already. And get them details there. But while the opposition parties have promised to cooperate with the government in enabling the legislation to become law speedily, there is an alarm in all parties over keeping it operating for 2 years. Because that's what they want to do over 2021. Veteran Labour MP Harriet Harman, who chairs Parliament's Human Rights Committee, has teamed up with former Tory Cabinet Minister David Davis and Andrew Mitchell and SNP Joanna Cherry to limit the emergency powers to 6 or 12 months. Mr. Davis told the Times, "There is nobody who can scrutinise a 300-page bill in one day. The government itself will have made mistakes. It's a fact of life. We need an absolute brick wall stop on this legislation at 12 months. Okay? Because government ain't going to stop at 12 months. Whatever power they have, they'll use in excess. And by 12 months, they would have reached a certain target." Downing Street responded by offering to insert a review every 6 months and a vote in the Commons. Okay? Just so you can have a look and see the type of lockdown they have in Italy. Okay, where's that? Here we go. Don't know what's going on with this fucking connection. Excuse my Bulgarian. Where else? See, the page was here just a second ago. If you go back on it now, I'm just trying to take the piss. Doesn't look like it's trying to load up right now. Alright, so continuing. Okay, look. This is the level of force that Italy has pushed onto the people concerning this coronavirus. This is the amount of martial law they have here that they've enforced. Coronavirus, Italy, 50,000 under martial law as police lock down towns. No one in or out. Period. Armed police. Okay. Which in the Bible is recognized by the sword, are preventing 50,000 Italians entering or leaving towns gripped by the coronavirus in Lombardy, Italy. If the crisis gets worse, the military have been authorized to move in. Okay? And the American one, that's called the National Guard. Here we go. I should be able to play this video here. Why is it acting up?
We know that it does definitely.
There we go. Oh, come on.
Oh, yes, but I can containment, it's not just whether it's spreading, but also limiting the numbers. So it's a highly contagious virus. There's no doubt about that. It's a virus it's very, very good at spreading from person to person. But if countries took no measures at all, we would have seen way, way, way more cases. So that's what we mean by containment. We're not saying that that completely stops it, but that limits it to where it's managed to pop its head up.
Is it the WHO's view that it is now being passed person to person from people who do not have symptoms, who don't know they have it?
That's still unclear, but there are possibilities that people could be shedding virus, so you do need to then ensure that people understand that the main way in which it spreads is probably from hands to face, nose and mouth, even though we know that it does definitely spread via droplets, coughed and sneezed out. But it is possible that people are getting it in other ways, essentially, as I said, by transferring it from their hands to their mouth and nose. And that's why we really go on and on about hand washing. We sound very boring, but it really is a major protective thing people can do to protect themselves.
That's for the fucking goyim. People don't understand that sanitizer, it dries out the oils on your hands. Okay? Makes you more susceptible, it weakens your immune system, makes you more susceptible for diseases. But you know what, monkey see, monkey do, man. That's these heathens out here. Okay, cases of coronavirus. Surge in Italy over the weekend, forcing officials to impose draconian, which is drastic. You can look into that. Draconian rules, harsh rules. Okay, by Michael Draco in the Rome period. Okay, you can do your research on that. Seen by many as a form of martial law. Okay, seen by many as a form of martial law in a bid to halt the spread of the outbreak. The coronavirus, formerly called COVID-19, has so far claimed 4 lives in Italy, infected 152, prompting authorities to impose fines on anyone caught entering or leaving outbreak areas. Police who routinely carry guns in Italy are patrolling 11 towns. Okay, so how the fuck is guns gonna fucking stop a virus? But anyway, mostly in the Lombardy region in the north of the country, after the government passed an emergency decree late on Saturday following the emergence of the first locally transmitted case on Friday. Okay, so they can't move, can't go in or out the city, can't go across the city. Fuck going out the borders, you can't move from city to city. Okay, and that's dead in the scripture. You can't denounce what times we're living in right now. Okay, here we go. This is 2nd Ezra 15. We'll start from 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's what we just read. That's what you're seeing in Italy. Soon coming to England, man. For because of the pride, cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and the men be afraid. Okay? And a man shall have no pity on his neighbour, but shall destroy their houses with a sword, spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. Okay, so for the pride, okay, because people, the pride of Esau and whatnot, having these people in such a condition, yeah, because people don't want to follow the ways of their leaders anymore, because they're going to be thinking, nah, man, this is BS now. It's come to a point where you got 500,000 people, can see that this COVID-19 is being used as a way to get control of people. It's gonna come to a point where that's where you can have sedition. Okay, and the man shall have no pity on his neighbour, but shall destroy houses with a sword, spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. People are already fighting one over what's the word? Toiletries and whatnot, the small things. So when it comes to actual food, you can just imagine what's gonna go on. Okay. Also, we'll jump into this one back to back. 2 Ezra chapter 16 and 27. So there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it, okay? Because when it's clear, empty. Let's get a photo quickly. When the cities are empty, because the cities are now empty, look. Photos of empty city. This is Lombardy, what we were just reading about. About martial. There's no martial law with a question mark. That is martial law, simple, straight up and down. Okay? That's what's going on here. This is Lombardy. This is what we just read about here. In Italy. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. But 2 Ezra 16 and 27. Okay, so that one man shall desire to see another and hear his voice. Okay, for all the places shall be desolate. So okay, I'll start from the top. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it, because no one's going to be farming or doing any agriculture. Okay, any of that. Okay, the trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? Okay, the trees in that are just going to blossom. They're just going to go to the natural state. The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? Okay, for all the places shall be desolate of men. No one's going to be at work or anything. No one's going to be reaping any crops. Okay, as it tells you in Ecclesiastes, the grinders shall cease because they're few. So that one man shall desire to see another. That's how vague the city is going to be. You know, it's going to be bleak out here, man. It's going to be void of anyone. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left. Of a city there shall only be about 10 left. And 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. So you're going to have people hiding and living in the what's the word? Vegetation. Okay. As in an orchard of olives, upon every tree are left 3 or 4 olives, okay, when it's picked, or when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard, okay? So that's like when it goes to picking olives and that. There's always something left, okay? But the ones that are left are few, okay? So yeah, man. Get ready for that, man. That's what's coming. That's what's here. Okay? Brothers, man, keep pushing. We're in that time, man. Double honours to the elders and apostles. Salutations to the Ark and Precious Mercy and Truth. Pray you was edified. And, yeah. Okay, Harakah Kodash for most allow me to bring out this video here. And Shalom.